Attention there, husbands. Do you feel like you're the silent husband, invisible in your own home, walking on eggshells? You want to flip the switch back, step back into your power, regain the respect that you want, to be desired again and be cherished by your wife. Ultimately, regain that connection and intimacy. If you do, if you want to regain your power and stop being the invisible human in your house, then this is the video for you. Which of these 5 concepts can you relate to? If you've got more than one of these 5, you need to make sure you watch the entire video, because I really want to help you. Number 1, do you feel like a ghost in your own home, invisible, ignored? Number 2, do you feel like you're walking on eggshells, afraid of saying or doing the wrong thing? Number 3, no matter what you do, does it feel like it's never good enough? Number 4, do you feel like you're just a paycheck, not a husband? And number 5, do you feel like more like a roommate? You've lost that respect, that attraction, you're sleeping on the couch, etc. You feel like you're just a paycheck who takes out the trash. Well, if you have one or more of those, then I feel you. You're not alone. That emotional pain is draining, it's frustrating, it's eating at you, and that feeling is soul crushing, and you're not alone. But you can turn it around. Stop doing what you're doing right now. If this doesn't appeal to you, if you're not doing any of those 5 things, this is not the video for you. But if any of those 5 things are showing up, let me share with you over the next few minutes how to solve it, how to turn it all around, because this is really important. And stick with me to the end of this video, because you'll know exactly how to break free from this cycle without begging, without chasing, without feeling like a fool. It starts with this. Write this down if you've got a pen and paper handy. Decide that you are worthy of change. At some point, things have to get to a point where you say enough is enough. You've been eaten away at, you're losing your self-worth and self-esteem, not feeling worthy being seen, not appreciated or cherished, or all of those things that you desire and that you're worthy of. And just like chin up, just as society's just sort of made us, just put your chin up. I'm here to tell you that you've got to decide that enough is enough, that you can regain your power. Make a decision right now to unlock your potential, to turn around your marriage and make a stand for yourself. Not because I tell you to do it, but because you decide that you are worthy of it. Not me telling you, you have to decide. I can give you permission right now. I can say that you deserve love, that you are good enough, that you deserve, but you have to decide. It kind of reminds me of the rusted sword. Imagine a warrior sword forged with strength and purpose and power, but now it's covered in rust from years of neglect. Not because it's weak, not because it hasn't been sharpened, because that's what it's meant for. It's meant to be used as a sword, but life got in the way. For you, it may be like kids, maybe work, maybe busy stuff, lots of stuff, but never forget that sword is powerful, capable, worthy. Society's told us to suppress our emotions, to man up, to push on, etc., etc. It's like leaving the sword outside in the rain, letting the rust just creep in. Your wife doesn't see that you're in the rain. She's given up too, maybe. The truth is, underneath that steel, it's strong. You don't need to be someone else. You just need to remove the rust, reclaim your strength, regain your power. Your emotions, your needs, they matter. And when you embrace that and decide that you're going to create change in a new way for you and for your wife and for your relationship, magic can happen. But you need to recognize that you have the power, you have the potential to do this, and not think that the sword can't be sharpened. Hope that makes sense. So you can make a decision right now and then follow that decision to turn it around. I don't want this to be something that you just listen to and then go, that was interesting. Actually, you've got to decide. If you want to create transformation, decide right now to be the best version of you. Decide that you don't want to struggle anymore. Decide that you want to create a wonderful relationship. So why do men struggle in relationships? Let's open the door to that. We often fail at emotional connection. We could do with upgrading our emotional awareness, our emotional control, and our emotional leadership. All of our communication, all of our behaviors come from our emotional state. It's our emotional awareness, our emotional control, and our emotional leadership. These things along the bottom of the iceberg, so to speak, the foundations are what's driving every thought, feeling, emotion, and behavior in your life. So a state could be motivation. A state could be love. A state could be peace. A state in the bath is different from the state when you're at a football match, for example. So we need to create a state where your wife feels safe and welcome. Shifting our psychology and our mindset, instead of fixing and doing and working and killing ourselves because we're trying to make things better, we need to take a time out, take a stop for a minute and just think. We need to be making her feel safe. Kind of like a container, like a bath. Like a bath that you put all the water in. Our role is to hold that. We need to be a container. We need to be a container for our wife. Because when we hold her safe, she will give us the things that we need back in that relationship. But most of us guys do not know how to hold that container safely. Emotional awareness, emotional control, and emotional leadership. These three things is what we need to work on. It's not an easy job for us because we're not being taught to do it. So don't let this relationship slip through your fingers. Don't let it disempower you, probably because you haven't learned these three things. So the second thing that I invite you to do is focus on feelings, not facts. You can turn things around. She's pulling away. She needs emotional safety. She's pulling away. She doesn't feel safe enough to share with you what's happening for her. Maybe we didn't listen properly. Maybe we need to learn some new skills. But if she's pulling away, she needs emotional safety. So what guys can typically do, what you may have fallen into the mistake of doing, is doing more and more acts of service, working harder and harder, working hard to fix the relationship. But if emotional safety isn't there, if the emotional safety is missing, then working harder and harder and harder won't fix it. This is what we need to recognize. So the metaphor I'd like to share with you is, imagine trying to fill a bucket up with a massive hole in it. No matter how much water you keep pouring in, all of that effort, all of that energy, all of that effort, it just keeps draining out. That's what happens in a relationship. An emotional safety